The night is heavenly, and you are heaven to me. Lovely you in blue Hawaii, with all this.
Hi, and welcome to the Garden Isle of Kauai. I'm Charlotte Simmons of Pauhana Years. Like many others, Pauhana Years went to bid the last farewell to one of the kupunas at Poipu Beach, the Waiahai Hotel.
The night is young, and so are we. So are we, my darling. Dreams come true in blue Hawaii, and mine will all come true this magic night.
The Pauhana Years crew accompanied the many invited guests on a 15-mile scenic drive from Lihue Airport to the Waiahai Hotel at Poipu Beach in Koloa.
The moon is on the sea. The night is young, and so are we. So are we, my darling. Oh, dreams all come true in blue Hawaii, and mine will all come true this magic night of nights with you. Oh, why don't you come with me while the moon is on the sea? The moon is on the sea. The night is young, and so are we. Dreams all come true in blue Hawaii, and mine will all come true this magic night of night with you.
John Dresser, location producer for Pauhana Years, interviewed Dennis Costa, manager of the Waiahai, and several of the hotel's senior employees and guests.
Dennis, could you tell us something about the buildings and the history of the Waiahai Hotel?
Sure, love to. At the Waiahai Hotel, we have two buildings that was here way before the rest of the buildings were added to. On my left here, we have our dining room, which at that particular time was owned by the Knutsons. And on my right, we have a two-story building here, which is at that particular time also owned by Knutsons. Those people who were staying there were the groundskeepers. Then after Knutson sold it to Kimball's, they've added a few other buildings here at the Waiahai Hotel. And we have a total of right now 47 rooms here at Waiahai. Very, very small and intimate.
And could you tell us why the guests have come to the Waiahai over the years?
A lot of the guests come to the Waiahai for the beautiful atmosphere we have here, the lovely beach, the charm, and of course the beauty, and also the such beautiful employees that we have here.
I'm Rose Almeida, Waiahai Hotel.
How long have you been here, Rose?
I've worked for AMFAC for 13 years,
Has all that time been here at the Waiahai Hotel?
and also at Poipu.
Oh, the Poipu right next door to the Waiahai here. What have you enjoyed about working here at the Waiahai and the Poipu?
Well, I like the surroundings. My fellow employees are very nice. So are the manager and whoever works with us.
Have you worked long in the present job that you have now?
Well, I started out as a room housekeeper. Then I went into a linen attendant, and I've now as assistant housekeeper.
Here at the Waiahai Hotel. Could you tell us what you enjoy most about the Waiahai? What is the most generous feeling that you have about the Waiahai?
Well, I think the surroundings are very beautiful, and walking through the area is very nice.
Do you do that occasionally on your off hours? Do you just walk through the area so that you can enjoy the surroundings here?
Well, I walk through my working hours, and I enjoy it very much.
Do you have a chance to talk to the guests very often? How are the guests at the Waiahai?
All the guests are very nice, and we've got a lot of returnees that have been coming back for many years. I just can't remember their names, but they were all very nice. We are getting bigger, and I'm sure there's a lot more guests that would like to come down to Waiahai, even if it will be a new hotel.
Are you looking forward to that new hotel and working in it? I suppose the place will be easier to keep when it's new, won't it?
Oh, yes. I'm looking forward to it.
Hello, what is your name?
Anton Silva.
Have you worked here very long, Tony?
Yeah, about 10 years.
Do you like working here?
Oh, sure. I like the gardens, the trees, and the vegetation. That's what I want.
Do you have an interest in vegetation yourself? Do you do any gardening at home?
Yes, I have about over 100 rose plants and some carnations, some vegetables. Keep me busy every time when I get home from work.
What is your job here at the Waiahai?
Houseman. I take care of the windows, screens, and carry the laundry and count all the sheets and towels. That's my job.
That's a big job. When you come to work in the morning, do you look forward to seeing the people who have checked in, the new guests, and if you do, what do you look for? Do you get to chat with the guests very often?
Well, I have some friends, and we talk about the island. And some of them, they're interested in roses, so I talk with them.
I understand that you may be retiring pretty soon. Is this almost Pauhana time for you?
About 2 years more. This month I make 63. I'm looking forward to go back to my garden.
Are you going to come back here as a guest yourself and maybe have dinner after you retire when they open the new building?
Yeah, I just live about 10 miles away from here.
Tony, I wish you well in your retirement years. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, too.
Many of the same guests have returned year after year to the Waiahai, a peaceful, serene, slow and easy setting for a perfect retreat, a beautiful place to hide, an oasis in hot, dry Poipu. A hotel whose landscape included a beautiful sunny crescent beach with its crashing waves and rolling surf. A little piece of paradise, a cluster of rambling beachfront cottages nestled in a silent cove surrounded by lush, natural foliage, shading the 1- and 2-story bungalows.
Hello, what is your name?
Rosa Ranyo.
Rosa Ranyo. How long have you been at the Waiahai Hotel?
I started to work here at 1964, in the year 1964. And I have 16 years of service here. And I love my work very much. And I started to work here as a lobby maid, working in the lobbies. And then I started as night maid, 2 hours a night, and go home and come back again, split shift. And for $1.35 an hour. After 3 months, I had $1.50 an hour. Then from there on, well, I started to work as a maid and work up myself to housekeeper.
I understand you're the executive housekeeper
Yes,
at the
I am.
Waiahao now.
Yes. And I have 36 girls working under my boys and girls, you know, my housemaids and maids, you know. And I love to work with all them. I love my work.
Have you known any of the guests that have been here? Do some of the guests that you've seen come and go, and you see them each year?
Yes, I have seen many of them come and go, and they love it very much. Every year they come. For as long as I can remember, they've been coming here. And maybe some will be coming because our dear old Waiahao won't be no more, but I believe they will be coming back. To myself, you know.
I've heard that most of the guests come back to the Waiahao Hotel because they like the employees here. How do you feel about that?
Oh, yes, they really do. They like their personality, and they're very nice to the guests, so they love to come back. You know, they miss all us, you know.
The staff here at the Waiahao Puerto Beach Hotel have been very, very gracious. And they always have a smile. In other words, everybody knows one another. They're basically family. Now, I've been to other hotels where they won't even say 2 words to you. But consequently, here they do try to do that. They want to make you at home. And if, as I mentioned before, if we're having, or guests arrive from the mainland, they take time and tell them about the grounds, tell them about the this Hawaiian island, where they can go, what they can see, and how long it takes to get there.
How's the hotel here changed over the years that you've watched it?
I don't think it's changed that much.
I don't
no,
think the Waiahao has really changed. That's why we always come back. Because we know what it's going to be like when we were just visiting here. We always knew what it was going to be like. We always knew that Claire Cavero would be here, Una Mae Moniz, the whole bunch, you know. And they always make you feel so welcome.
I think we have nice house guests because they come back every year. If they wouldn't like it, they wouldn't come back.
What, you're a baker here in the kitchen? Is that you're the head baker? Is that right?
Well, I'm the only baker.
What's your specialty in the kitchen here?
You mean in cakes or pie? Well, I think the coconut cake and the macadamia nut pie, I think it's about the favorites here.
Way back in the early, you worked for the Kimballs when they were here. Do you remember when they lived in the main building?
No, I don't think they ever lived here. They always were living in Honolulu, but they used to come every so often. Mrs. Kimball was very, high class, you know, everything had to be just so. And in a way, I guess we kept her standards here.
And you still maintain those?
I think so, because the ingredients to the cakes or pies didn't change at all. We still have, maybe other places put cheaper ingredients, but we never did. We still bake from scratch and with the same good ingredients. That's why I think people coming back, because still tastes as good as used to taste in the beginning.
What will you do when the old Waiahao Hotel is torn down? Will you come back to the new one?
We certainly will.
Absolutely, absolutely. We will. There's no doubt about it.
Well, they're going to try and keep as much staff as they can, you know, to change over. And all our people are here.
Your people are the staff here, right?
I hope to see the new hotel up, you know, if I'm still here. Because I'm 63 years old now, so. But I love my work very, very much. I love it. And although I hate to see our dear old Waiahao go down, but there's nothing we can do about it.
The original Waiahai Hotel was purchased by Island Holidays from the Kimball family in 1964, approximately 2 years after it opened. At that time, the hotel consisted of 10 separate buildings, which included the hotel's office, restaurant, lounge and bar, and 30 guest rooms. Open-airy lanais peeked through the general landscape to the sea and mountains, and garden paths wandered forever amid the call of the wild birds and the sound of the crashing surf. No wonder this little piece of paradise has become a beautiful place to hide. There's something about the Waiahai that makes her reminiscent of Waikiki's Halekulani. Later, you find out they were sister hotels.
What's the most wonderful part about the old Waiahai Hotel that you're going to miss most?
Oh, the scene, well, the scenery will still be here, but I guess it's that family type of atmosphere. That's what we're gonna miss. You know, it won't be like that anymore, I doubt.
Do you think you won't have another family atmosphere here? It'll be too big then. Is that what you feel?
No, not really. That depends on how we make it. I mean, we make it so that they feel like we're one big family then.
From what I've heard, the guests here enjoy the hotels principally because of the people who work here, like you. Do you think that's true?
I think so. I'm very sure of it.
When it calls to you, you must go there beyond the rainbow to fair Hawaii. Hey, no, How you, dear? No kamakaeha kalena lia wahine anavahi nekihe nepua.
The invited guests gathered at twilight time to share special moments and fond memories of the place they had grown to love over the years, the Waiahai. They were welcomed with the gracious Hawaiian hospitality which has become the trademark of each employee.
When you see Hanalei by moonlight, you will be in heaven by the sea. Every breeze, every wave will whisper, you are mine, don't ever go away.
Can you give me your name and how long have you been here?
My name is Claire Cavero, and I've been here for 13 years. I started as a waitress, and I'm now the dining room manager, and I have been for 8 years.
For 8 years as the manager of this dining room. Can you tell me a little bit about how it feels to know that the Waiahai Hotel that we know right now is not going to be here anymore?
Well, of course it's sad to us. We, being here for 13 years, and you get to know all your guests by name, and that's what makes them feel so important. That's what makes them come back. And it's hard for me to think, you know, being in a big hotel, I won't be able to know everybody's name. No.
Do you think it'll be difficult to get to know the people as well as you've known the people here?
As long as I can be in a dining room, I feel that I'll be able to know people by names. We usually have a log or a list of names, and when you write their check on the names, you remember that. That's the ways that we remember their names and get to be real good friends with them.
How does it feel in your heart?
Well, it's sad. It's sad because it's going to be just a different world, for sure.
Do you think we'll still have the same atmosphere, the same general feeling of aloha that I've seen here today?
As long as I have the same employees that I have right now, they'll still have that aloha spirit. Most of us are almost related, if not related. In fact, the manager is my cousin. So as long as, I have that same crew, we just work together beautifully.
Your crew is very, very attractive, especially tonight. They just look beautiful.
Too. I'm very proud of them. I can always depend on them.
We, the employees and management of the Waiahai and Poipu Beach Hotel, would like to say farewell to Waiahai.
The Waiahai Hotel officially closed on July 8, 1979. The new four-story Waiahai is expected to open its doors in January 1981, with a total of 601 rooms, including the 142 rooms now existing at the Poipu Beach Hotel. Groundbreaking for the new hotel took place on July 5, 1979. To the old Waiahai, Pauhana Years bids a fond farewell. And to the upcoming keiki, the new Waiahai, a wish for a continued feeling of hospitality and all traditions that have made the Waiahai so picturesque and beautiful.